This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
As time goes by, I hope we don't let down our guard.
This morning, a surprise announcement from the governor, why he says most of the state is ready to move to the next phase earlier than expected.
Thousands of Hoosier families didn't get a stimulus check due to having undocumented spouses. How Indiana lawmakers are reacting to a new bill possibly bringing them relief.
A local organization is helping Hoosiers rebound from the coronavirus pandemic.
I just want to tell everybody to go check them out.
This morning, we're talking to a local mom and finding out how the organization provides assistance year-round.
Plus, for high school seniors, the pomp and circumstance won't be heard in person.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, it hurt.
Why some seniors say they aren't happy with the way ceremonies are being held. Well, we want to thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. Thanks so much for starting your morning with us. Meteorologist Todd Clausen joining us from home. And Todd, you're saying as people head out the door, they just need to really have that jacket with them.
Yeah, you know, that's all you really need. It's a little on the cool side this morning, so I think you'll want to have the jacket handy. And you'll see the overcast skies, but we're really not expecting much in the way of rainfall once again today. Just the chance of a few spotty showers, and I don't think it's worth carrying the umbrella around for the entire day for just a really, really small chance of an isolated shower later on today. That's the view from downtown to the north on the Weather Now camera network. Temperatures sit at 54 degrees in Indy, 55 in Bloomington. That's why the jacket is needed. And the clouds are just really thick across the area still, and the rain still off to our east. The satellite radar picture looks very, very similar to yesterday, but a lot of these showers will dry out as they try to make their way towards Indiana, so that's why it's just a hit or miss shower in the forecast for the afternoon hours. If it's a shower that you do encounter, it'll be very light, it'll be very brief. That's why I really don't think you need to worry about it. Temperatures will be topping off today in the mid-60s. That's a little bit warmer than yesterday. We'll continue in the upward direction with our temperature trend into the weekend. More on that, Lauren, coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on your roads as you're heading out the door this Thursday. Right now, no crashes to report around the metro area, so that is good news. Here's a look, though, over on the east side, I-465 and I-70, the interchange there where everything's traveling up to speed. Do want to make you aware, though, of a change that is coming tomorrow at midnight. They are scheduled to reopen a ramp. They've had the ramp southbound 465 to eastbound I-70 closed for some maintenance. You probably remember that big tanker fire that we had earlier this year. So they've been working on that ramp, making some repairs. Again, that is scheduled to reopen Friday at midnight. Of course, we'll keep you updated on more traffic issues and construction coming up throughout the morning.
Lauren, the time now is 6:03. We want to get to the very latest on the coronavirus's impact on Hoosier families. The State Department of Health reports 581 new cases of COVID-19. Since the pandemic began, more than 29,274 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. The state also reports 38 new deaths caused by COVID-19. So far, 1,716 Hoosiers have died from the virus. And this morning, 39% of intensive care unit beds in Indiana are available, and nearly 81% of the state's ventilators are available as well.
And Nicole, the state is taking a major step forward this week as more Indiana businesses will be allowed to reopen their doors. Governor Eric Holcomb says that he will sign an executive order today allowing stage 3 of Indiana's plan to reopen to begin on Friday. That's in most parts of the state. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what this change means for Hoosiers. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So this change is actually coming 2 days earlier than the original plan that the governor laid out. So what does this transition into stage 3 look like for you? Well, gyms and fitness centers can open with social distancing guidelines. Social gatherings can include up to 100 people. Community pools and campgrounds can open, and retail stores and malls can be open at 75% capacity. Recreational sports can start practicing again, except for football and lacrosse. Tennis and basketball courts, along with baseball and soccer fields, can also open up. The governor says Hoosiers still need to do their part to help prevent coronavirus from spreading.
What I don't want to see happen is we let our guard down, or we're not vigilant, or we think, well, it's just, you know, they say this is the most important week every week, and so therefore it can't be. Well, it is. and our actions matter. And so as time goes by, I hope we don't let down our guard.
Friday's reopening plan does not include Marion County. Marion County can move forward to stage 3 on June 1st at the earliest. Right now, Marion County is not even in stage 2 in many aspects. For example, dining in restaurants is still restricted. Only outdoor dining will be allowed starting Friday, and personal service businesses are not allowed to be open. That includes salons and barbershops. So along with Marion County, Cass, Lake, and Monroe counties are also staying in stage 2 until June 1st. They've had more COVID-19 cases and they need tighter restrictions right now. Of course, this will go into stage 3 in the rest of Indiana will go through June 13th. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. An update now to a Call 6 investigation into American citizens in Indiana not getting stimulus checks because of their spouse's immigration status. Earlier this month, we told you hundreds of thousands of mixed status families will not get the payments, mostly American citizens married to undocumented immigrants. Like Jeanette Sanchez of Noblesville. But pending legislation could change things. The HEROES Act, just approved by the House, would allow someone with a taxpayer identification number to get a stimulus check, even if they don't have a Social Security number. Call 6 Investigates asked U.S. Senator Mike Braun if he would support similar language on the Senate side.
As long as the spouse that isn't a citizen is a legal immigrant and in the process of getting full citizenship, I'm going to be for that. I think Marco Rubio might have some legislation in the Senate that would reflect that. To me, legal immigration is such an important part of what our country is about. We do more of it than any other country in the world.
The Senate has not yet voted on the 1,800-page HEROES Act.
Well, if you ride Indigo to get to and from work, you're going to want to pay attention to this. The transit company announcing its plan to return to normal service schedules. Beginning June 1st, Indigo will resume operating on regular weekday schedules Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday service will continue as usual. The riders are asked to continue to leave space between themselves and other riders whenever possible and to wear a face covering on board if they are available. Well, in just a few weeks, the annual Tour de Cure for diabetes is taking place right here in Indiana.
This morning, our Alyssa Donovan has details on why this year it's especially important for people to make the effort to participate. Alyssa.
It's easier than ever this year to get involved in Tour de Cure since it's all virtual. That means you get to pick your course and either bike, walk, or run all on your own. And professionals say if there's a time to get active, it's right now.
We call it the COVID-10. We got to prevent the COVID-10. So we got to keep people moving, get them out, get them walking. We got to get them out riding bikes and do those types of things to stay active, because if you quit moving, you quit living.
Dr. Troy Abbott says medical professionals are concerned with people coming out of the pandemic more unhealthy, more people becoming pre-diabetic or diabetic.
I would say yes. People need to be more problems with their elevated blood sugars because they're just not being active. They're being more reclusive, especially in our older population. They're afraid to get out and socialize and be out with other people because they're the ones at higher risk of this COVID.
Recently, one of his patients added more activity and a healthier diet to his life, and it made a major difference.
He bikes 4 miles a day with his daughter, and he says in the last month he has not had any potatoes or breads, and he's really cut that back. He's lost 26 pounds. His A1C went from 10.7 to 5.5 just because he started moving. And so you can have big success stories with that.
Signing up for the Tour de Cure is a way for you to set a goal and motivate yourself to get moving. For more information on Tour de Cure, which is happening on June 6th, visit our website, theindychannel.com. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Some students and parents are disappointed with how their school districts are handling graduation. Instead of a large ceremony surrounded by friends, relatives, and classmates, Franklin Central High School graduates signed up for individual time slots this week. They received their diplomas, walked across the stage, and took pictures. Each student was allowed to bring 2 guests with them as well.
It was short and it was sweet, and it was, get in, get out. And it was nice. It wasn't what you wanted, but that's what you got.
We all graduate individually. We all get our own transcript and all that. But together as a class, we did it. And I think that having a ceremony with all of us there is one way to really recognize that, this is a combined effort. We did all of this together. We survived 4 years of high school together.
Well, some districts are holding virtual ceremonies and others are postponing them to later this summer.
Time right now is 6:10. A Central Indiana organization is helping Hoosiers navigate the coronavirus pandemic. Coming up all new at 6:14, we'll talk to one woman about how the Hawthorne Center helped her and why she says they could benefit you as well. Todd.
And Lauren, as you walk out the door here this morning, maybe you're heading out for a walk or run through the neighborhood. We're in good conditions, not only this morning, but if you choose to do it in the afternoon or evening, you're in great shape as well. I took a run yesterday. I thought the temperatures were pretty comfortable out there. It's just not going to be the brightest day for us with the lack of sunshine. We'll talk about today and look ahead to your Friday and holiday weekend coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:10.
Our competitors forced your home. That's who.
Hawthorne Center is helping folks rebound during this economic crisis. Anything from finding housing, financial assistance after perhaps losing a job, and simply addressing those basic needs so many people can't meet right now.
Yeah, and so RTV6's Stephanie Wade speaks with a client who shares how that organization has helped her, especially during this time.
Nakia Thomas was staying at a shelter when she first learned of the Hawthorne Community Center. She has 5 children, 4 under the age of 18, and at the time she was searching for daycare. But it didn't stop there.
I don't even have the words to express how much they have came, through for me or done for me, just simple things that, it might not seem like a lot, but when you don't have it, it's a lot.
From early childhood to before and after school programming for children, to employment help, budgeting, and financial literacy.
It's almost like a life coach. That's what I look at Jaba as a life coach. She helped me in places, resources, everything to better my life.
Thomas works as a certified nursing assistant. She actually had to quarantine herself for 14 days and couldn't work. So Hawthorne helped her with rent.
That's a really good burden to take off of someone who's trying, not just sitting at home, want to collect.
There's always a traditional need for these basic needs services, but the increase, has been really almost exponential, just looking at the weekly calls that we're getting.
Because of the pandemic, the executive director says they've had to build emergency response teams focused on food and housing for people who were impacted on top of their regular clients.
A large majority of the community don't have the financial assets to really weather any kind of economic hardships.
Working with up to 600 people a week, Thomas is a testament, in her words, of how Hawthorne is lifting people up who really need it in the community.
I just want to tell everybody to go check them out.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Stephanie, thank you for that. Now, to get in touch with Hawthorne Community Center, we have much more information. It's all at our website, as well as a number of other resources that you can take advantage of.
The Rebound Indiana is connecting you to advice and resources you can use to cope with the impacts of the pandemic. Dr. Virginia Kane, director of the Marion County Public Health Department, is one of 3 experts who will discuss mental health issues African American women are facing during the pandemic in a virtual town hall tonight. Dr. Kane says Black women might be feeling extra pressure or stress because of the disproportionate impact the coronavirus has had on Indiana's African American population.
And if you are the main caregiver in your family, that's got to put on a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety for you in terms of how am I taking care of everyone.
Tonight's town hall is hosted by the Links Incorporated. Dr. Kane plans to share resources, ways to recognize mental health issues in children and adults, plus tips anyone can use to relieve anxiety. You can find the discussion streaming at 6 p.m. on the WRTV Facebook page. It is 6:16. Let's get another check of your Storm Team 6 forecast with Todd.
Hey, Nicole, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. It's kind of a cloudy day for us once again throughout the day today, unfortunately, but it's also going to be a day that features pretty low rain chances, and that will be carrying into tomorrow as well. It's really not until the weekend that the rain chances kind of go up just a little bit, but that's also when the temperatures start to climb as well. So we'll hit all these headlines for you here over the course of the next few minutes. 54 right now in Indy, as well as Martinsville, 55 in Bedford. 52 is the current temperatures. You make your way up into the Crawfordsville area. We've been dealing with clouds for the past few days and very wet conditions. We've had over 4.5 inches of rain so far this month, or close to that, and it's going to continue to have rain chances in the forecast, or we're going to continue to have rain chances in the forecast in the coming days. But the rain chances today, at least, are going to be very, very low. The area of low pressure is still down to our south, but you do notice we're dealing with some showers that are trying to back their way from east to west into our area. And this has been the trend throughout really the past couple days. That area of low pressure has just been very, very slow to move. It started north of Chicago, which Chicago, by the way, has had over 8 inches of rain this month. It's the wettest May on record for the Windy City. So we have about half of the amount of rain that Chicago's seen, but it was the same area of low pressure that brought us the rainfall earlier in the week. And it's still bringing us just the chance of that spot shower that you see on the far eastern portion of the state as we go through TrueCast for you hour by hour on this Thursday. But with the clouds in place, temperatures today are just not really going to do a whole lot once again, although we will be better than we were yesterday. But once this area of low pressure moves off into the Atlantic, which should be by Friday afternoon, that's going to start to allow warmer temperatures to start to make their way into our area. So today we're into the mid-60s. Tomorrow we make the jump into the low to mid-70s with more in the way of sunshine. The sun getting stronger this time of year. So if you have the sunshine, it's obviously going to help to warm things up just a little bit more than compared to overcast skies like today. But look at your Memorial Day weekend planner. Now, I know Memorial Day weekend is going to be a little different than it normally would be here in Indianapolis with the 500 getting postponed. But as we go into race day, or what would have been race day on Sunday, 85 degrees. Monday, we're at 85 as well for Memorial Day itself. I think Saturday and Sunday, the storms chances are just going to be very spotty in nature. I do think they become a little more numerous on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday as the cold front starts to make its way towards the area. But all of those days across the holiday weekend will feature a lot of dry hours. Don't cancel any outdoor plans as of now because of the storm chances. We'll just have to time them out for you a little better as we get closer to Saturday and Sunday and even into Memorial Day itself. Lauren?
All right, Todd, we'll take it. Thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. We are monitoring one crash here. It's in the center of your screen. This is the interchange down on the south side between I-65 and I-465. The crash that you're looking at here is on the ramp system, and it doesn't look too busy, but we do have that ramp partially blocked off, and it is slowing down traffic just a bit. So if you're traveling westbound on I-465, getting on the ramp to southbound I-65, just expect a delay as you're heading past this crash scene. Take it slow and watch for people working this in the area. Other than that, traffic overall around the metro area is traveling up to speed.
Now to more Hoosier headlines. 3 people are safe after being rescued from high water. The rescues happened on Wednesday in Jackson County. Sheriff Rick Meyer says the first rescue happened around 1 o'clock south of Seymour. The driver told authorities the water in her car was up to her steering wheel. Deputy Jesse Hutchinson used a wetsuit to quickly get to the driver and carry her to safety. And then just hours later, deputies were called to the rescue of 2 men west of Brownstown around 6 Wednesday evening. The quick-moving high water forcing deputies to use an airboat to get to the men. Neither of them were injured.
On the Democracy 2020 front, you have just a few hours left to request a mail-in or absentee ballot for the June 2nd Indiana primary. The Secretary of State is encouraging people to vote this way due to the pandemic. You can go to indianavoters.com to request your ballot. If you email, fax, or mail your request, it has to be received by today. Completed ballots must be received by your county clerk by noon on June 2nd. That's Election Day in our state. In-person early voting begins Tuesday and runs through June 1st at noon.
There is nothing quite like seeing a concert live in person, but a number of artists are canceling their shows for the rest of the year. New at 627, we're looking at when you could possibly see a live show again.
And did you know that diabetes is the 7th leading cause of death here in the United States? Each year, diabetes kills more Americans than breast cancer and AIDS combined. RTV6 is a proud partner for this year's American Diabetes Association's Indiana Tour de Cure, and this year it's going virtual on June 6th. We encourage everyone to get active by walking, running, or cycling. The time right now is 6:22. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. We'll be back just after the break. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:25. Nicole, this is the time where we talk about what is trending at 6. So here's the first thing. We're going to go northwest of us here to South Dakota, where employees of the Smithfield pork processing plant were cheered on by their local residents as they returned to work yesterday. The Sioux Falls plant shut down for 3 weeks after more than 800 workers contracted COVID-19. Well, this event was organized by a group of friends who wanted to show support for the workers, many of whom are immigrants.
Good to see there. Well, they say laughter is the best medicine, and that's what some New York City seniors are taking. Every Monday morning, Greenwich House in Lower Manhattan holds an hour-long comedy workshop for the group hit hardest by COVID-19. Former Tonight Show writer Joe Firestone leads the digital class, which includes one-liners, impressions, and even ideas for late-night celebrity sketches.
All right, I love that. And hey, we have a shout-out on this Thursday to our hometown hero for today. Congratulations to Johanna Butler Finneran. She's a second-grade teacher at Clinton Young Elementary in Perry Township. That's on the south side of Indianapolis. We do want to wish a big thanks also for everyone doing their personal and professional best right now. I know a lot of schools are wrapping up classes through e-learning this week and even last week. So thank you to all the teachers and educators around the state for finishing out the year strong. We know it's been tough. All right, we do want to check in on our forecast right now with Todd. It's Thursday, and we've had kind of a rough week in the weather department, Todd, but what can we do today?
You know, today we're going to continue that trend. Unfortunately, Lauren, quite a bit of cloud cover around and the cool temperatures as a result of that cloud cover. But there are warmer days ahead and brighter days ahead. That is the good news. And I know we've been advertising that all week long heading into the holiday weekend. Today, at least this morning as you get out the door, we're looking at cloudy skies, 55 degrees here at 8 a.m. up to 59 degrees by the noon hour. High temperatures this afternoon, a little better than they were yesterday. That's the good news. We should be climbing up into the mid-60s across the area. Just a very, very small chance of a stray shower this afternoon. I really wouldn't worry about it. Just don't want you to be shocked, especially in eastern locations, if you do see that. Tomorrow into the 70s. We'll talk about the 80s for the weekend coming up in just a little bit.
Todd, thank you. Rascal Flatts and a number of other artists have canceled their summer concert tours. This morning, John Matarese is working for you and looking at when live concerts could return so you don't waste your money.
Every week brings another summer concert cancellation, which then brings up the question, will there be any live concerts this year? Kenny Chesney is the latest act to scrap his 2020 tour. Garth Brooks postponed. Keisha postponed to a TBA date. Brad Paisley, some shows canceled. And Taylor Swift, her entire world tour canceled. A new report in the Wall Street Journal has some bad news for music fans. It says, when will big concerts finally return? Think 2021, next year. It says, while restaurants can reopen with social distancing, you can't hold a live concert in front of 10,000 fans. But one possible solution, the AP says socially distant concerts could signal a reopening for live music as drive-ins. Keith Urban just held an outdoor concert at a Nashville drive-in theater where everyone sat locked in their car. Now, this won't work everywhere. Noise restrictions would prohibit outdoor concerts in your suburban homes, but it's one possibility, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
For more cost-saving tips and ideas, visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. We begin with breaking news from overnight. Police are conducting a homicide investigation on Indy's east side. Officers were flagged down near East Washington and Pine Streets around 3 o'clock this morning. There they found a person dead with a gunshot wound inside of a car. Police say they believe the shooting happened somewhere else.
Metro Police are also investigating a shooting just north of downtown. This happened around 11 last night on Brookside Avenue near 16th and Broadway. When officers arrived, they found a 20-year-old man suffering from at least one gunshot wound. Officers believe the victim was shot while he was inside of his vehicle. At last check, he was listed in critical condition.
Police are still looking for the driver of a car that struck and killed a woman late Tuesday on the city's east side. What police are looking for is the car, a Buick there, left at the scene at East 38th and North Arlington Boulevard. Police say that a woman and a man in a Buick ran from the scene on foot. Evidence in the car indicates they both may have been injured.
Unlike many counties, Hamilton County will have a 4-H fair in Noblesville in late July. The Hamilton County Fair does not have a midway or ride, so fair organizers tell us it should be less of a challenge to meet COVID-19 restrictions set by Purdue. Extension, the 4-H Council in Hamilton County will meet next week to lay out plans for a smaller fair.
Carmel and Fishers are planning to go virtual with their Memorial Day ceremonies this year due to COVID-19 restrictions. In Carmel, the event is tomorrow morning at 9, and it will be shown on the City of Carmel's Facebook page. Fishers will hold a day-long Memorial Day remembrance on Monday. They'll release a video on a special Memorial Day webpage. Plus, there will be a warbird flyover in Fishers on Monday afternoon. We do want to thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Meteorologist Todd Klassen standing by. Todd, you're saying bring that jacket, but throughout the day we will warm up.
Yeah, you know, we'll go from the 50s to mid-60s here this afternoon. So you definitely probably need the jacket while we're in the 50s. And then you probably, I would bet to guess most of you probably want it while we're in the 60s as well, especially with the lack of sunshine and a little bit of a breeze out there. Although it's definitely going to be a light jacket that's needed, or maybe just a light long sleeve shirt if you're going to be out and about later today. Our rain chance is pretty small throughout the day today. Only about a 10% chance, and that is going to be mainly in eastern locations as we progress. So I don't really think about too much in the way of rainfall throughout the day today. It's more just the clouds and the showers that will be off to our east. Those showers going to try to make their way into our direction. They're just not going to be very successful throughout the day. So today temperatures will be in the mid-60s for everybody, a little warmer than yesterday. But today starts the warming trend, even though it's not the brightest day for us. It's warmer than yesterday. Tomorrow with some additional sunshine, we're into the 70s, and then we're still on track for 80s arriving on Saturday. More on the holiday weekend coming up in just a little bit. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're taking a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads this Thursday morning. Here's a look down on the south side. This is our camera at I-65 and I-465, the interchange down there. If you look closely in the center of your screen, you can see we do have a wrecker on the scene to clear this crash. This is on the ramp system from westbound I-465 heading onto southbound I-65, and you can see a person walking there on the ramp as well. So just take it slow as you head through this spot. Overall traffic is still moving there on the south side. We'll continue to keep you updated on any other crashes or delays throughout the morning.
Many businesses in Indiana will open their doors even wider as the state's back on track plan prepares to enter stage 3 2 days earlier than originally planned. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with more on the plans revealed Wednesday by Governor Holcomb. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. So restrictions will ease even more starting on Friday for most Indiana counties, except for Marion, Lake, Cass, and Monroe counties. They've just had more cases of COVID-19, and they have stricter rules in place for right now. So what does this new stage mean for you? Well, social gatherings can now be up to 100 people. Restaurants' dining capacity will stay at 50%. Retail stores and malls can be open at 75% capacity, all with appropriate safety precautions. This also means gyms, fitness studios, and YMCAs may open on Friday. Community pools and campgrounds may also open, and recreational sports leagues can begin practicing, but no contact sports such as football and lacrosse. But with every step forward, precautions still need to be taken.
I have concerns and reservations about every step and every change we make. That is a normal thing. I wouldn't be giving it the appropriate evaluation. However, I do think that there is a way that we can do this safely, and that involves all of the same things that we've already been doing, and that is social distancing, washing our hands, wearing our masks.
The governor also said youth summer day camps may begin June 1st. Again, all of yesterday's announcements do not apply to Marion, Lake, Cass, and Monroe counties, which have stricter local measures in place. Now, stage 3, as it applies to most of Indiana, except for those 4 counties, is set to stay in place until June 13th, unless something else changes. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you for that update. Well, personal service businesses include salon and barbershops, and they're not allowed to open yet here in Marion County. And so owners from some of those businesses are frustrated. So they held this protest in downtown. The shops have been closed since March, and under Mayor Joe Hogstead's current plan, they won't be able to open until at least June 1st. So demonstrators say the restrictions are hurting business because salons in other counties are allowed to operate. They say reopening the shops will be safe.
We are here to make them understand that I have 14 stylists that went to school, and they have learned so much about sanitizing. More than any retail center, more than any hardware store. They didn't take classes on sanitation, and they've been open since day one.
Stevens says they need to reopen to provide income to stylists and barbers who are considered self-employed. She says many of them still haven't received unemployment benefits.
Workers in some other industries worry that not enough is being done to protect their health as the state begins to loosen restrictions. On Wednesday, grocery store workers talked about their fears, and some of them say the stores where they work are not taking enough steps towards safety.
I did not feel safe. I feel like I'm still at risk, that I could be taking this home to my children, to my grandchildren, to my spouse.
The employees are downright scared and afraid to ask somebody to put on a mask because of the retaliation we get from it.
The president of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union says at least 68 grocery store workers across the country have died from COVID-19, and more than 10,000 have gotten sick. But most supermarket chains are starting to phase out the extra hazard pay employees have been receiving for the last 2 months. The union sent a letter to supermarkets saying they're failing to provide employees the pay and protections necessary given the risks they are facing.
In all these cases, this pay cut is essential to these workers, and it's being taken away even though these respective companies are experiencing record sales and profits and higher productivity. The pay is being cut, the pay cut is being implemented even though the grocery workers are still dying, and not a single state, major city for that matter, or county has returned us to anything resembling the pre-COVID-19 normal.
The union says no major retailer or supermarket has publicly released the number of workers who have gotten sick or have died from COVID-19. The union is calling on companies to immediately reinstate hazard pay until the need to wear masks and other protective measures are no longer necessary.
It is 6:37. Concerns over safety are now being raised at the Johnson County Jail after nearly half of the jail's inmates tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff reported 2 weeks ago that 127 of the 261 inmates have the virus. Well, now family members are worried about the safety of their loved ones. Zarian Conrad tells RTV6 that her partner, Tiaja Evans, has been at the jail for a little more than a week now, and she hasn't been able to get many answers from jail staff. She says Tiaja is sharing a cell with 3 other women, one of whom may be sick. Conrad says they're also given limited opportunities to shower.
I'm not saying it's supposed to be luxurious during in jail, you know what I mean? But I'm saying it should be standard, everything that it should be cleaned up. It shouldn't be a privilege for a shower, like a shower should be mandatory.
Well, we asked Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess about the issues and how they're addressing those concerns.
We're all living with different types of restrictions. We try to address those the best that we can. On the 26th, that will be 14 days from when we had everybody tested, and that's a date that I can't wait to get here. Then we can kind of get back to some normal operations.
Sheriff Burgess says that getting back to normal operations could mean lifting quarantine restrictions for inmates, but he says he will follow the advice of his medical staff to figure out what is next.
Social distancing, isolation, and financial concerns can take a big toll on our mental health. The Rebound Indiana is sharing advice and resources you can use to cope with the impacts of the pandemic. Dr. Virginia Kane, director of the Marion County Public Health Department, is one of 3 experts who will talk about mental health issues facing faced by African American women during a virtual town hall today. Dr. Kane says the main thing she wants women to take away from the conversation is to take care of themselves.
If you're ill, you're not going to be able to help anybody. If you're emotionally so sad, that translate those emotions go to your family members, to your children, and it impacts them negatively. So the number one person we're telling you, take care of yourself.
The town hall is hosted by the Links Incorporated. Dr. Kane plans to share resources, ways to recognize mental health issues in children and adults, plus tips anyone can use to relieve anxiety. You can find the discussion streaming at 6 p.m. this evening on the WRTV Facebook page.
Well, a familiar face wants to get back into politics. We'll show you what office he's running for and what he had to say about the man who holds that office right now. The time is 6:39 on your Thursday. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Democracy 2020 now. Today is the deadline to request a vote by mail or absentee ballot for the June 2nd primary. The Secretary of State is encouraging people to vote this way due to the pandemic. You can go to indianavoters.com to request your ballot, and registered voters can do this. If you email, fax, or mail your request, it also has to be received by today. Completed ballots must be received by your county clerk by noon June 2nd. That is Election Day. In-person early voting begins next Tuesday and runs through June 1st at noon. Former Indiana Congressman Todd Rokita wants to get back into politics. The Republican announced on Wednesday he is getting in the race for Indiana Attorney General.
So in his announcement, Rokita described current Attorney General Curtis Hill as, quote, wounded over Hill's suspension from practicing law. That 30-day suspension began Monday, and it stems from sexual assault allegations made by 4 women, including a state lawmaker. Rokita is not without controversy himself, though. The AP reporting that while he was serving as Indiana's Secretary of State, he was accused back in 2009 of repeatedly using his state computer to access a list of Republican donors. That would have been in violation of the state's ethics laws, though Rokita denies violating the law. Rokita left Congress in 2018 to run for U.S. Senate, but he lost to Mike Braun in the Republican primary.
Rokita's entry into the race means that Republicans will have 4 candidates for Attorney General to choose from at their state party convention next month. Hill is seeking re-election, also running our Indianapolis attorney John Westerkamp and Decatur County Prosecutor Nate Harder. Democrats have 2 candidates running for the office, State Senator Karen Talian and former Evansville Mayor Jonathan Weinzapfel. Indiana Democrats will also hold their state party convention in June.
Well, the goal is to prevent diabetes, but pushing people to stay healthy has become even more difficult during the pandemic. Up next, a way that you can get involved in an effort virtually just a few weeks from now. Now over to Todd.
And Lauren, as you walk out the door this morning, maybe for that outdoor workout, whether it's a bike ride or a walk or a run, it's a little on the cool side this morning with temperatures that are in the 50s. It's cloudy as well. Rain chances very, very small today and tomorrow, but they ramp up heading into the weekend with warmer temperatures. More on that holiday weekend forecast when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 4:44.
Our competitors forced your home. That's who.
The annual Tour de Cure for Diabetes happens just a few weeks from now, and because of the pandemic, it will be different, but the effort still needs your help.
And so this morning, our own Alyssa Donovan has the details on why this year it's especially important for people to make the effort to participate. Alyssa.
It's easier than ever this year to get involved in Tour de Cure since it's all virtual. That means you get to pick your course and either bike, walk, or run all on your own. And professionals say if there's a time to get active, it's right now. Dr. Troy Abbott says medical professionals are concerned with people coming out of the pandemic more unhealthy, more people becoming pre-diabetic or diabetic. With more people staying at home and turning to comfort food, unhealthy habits are forming.
I would say yes. People need to be more problems with their elevated blood sugars because they're just not being active. They're being more reclusive, especially in our older population. They're afraid to get out and socialize and be out with other people because they're the ones at higher risk of this COVID.
Which is why now is a great time to sign up for the Tour de Cure and motivate yourself to become more active by setting a goal and continuing to social distance. For more information on Tour de Cure, which is happening on June 6th, visit our website, theindychannel.com. I'm Melissa Donovan, RTV6.
All right, thank you there, Alyssa. As we go throughout the day today, we're dealing with cloudy skies here to start, and the clouds are going to hold pretty thick throughout the day, and eventually we are going to start to thin the clouds in the coming days, and with the sunshine returning by tomorrow, we'll finally get some warmth back in here, but we're sitting at 52 currently in Kokomo, 55 in Bloomington, 54 in Indianapolis. The clouds are in place this morning across the area, and the rain's not too far away, but it hasn't been very far away for the past 24 to 36 hours. Really, once we got past Tuesday evening and those light showers that are around, most of this rainfall has not made its way into the area. You notice this swirl right here, kind of on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. That is where our area of low pressure is centered right now. Yesterday, it was actually a little further south towards Atlanta, but we have counterclockwise flow across the area, so these showers are trying to make their way back into central Indiana. On the backside of this area of low pressure, we don't have much in the way of moisture. So what these areas of low pressure do when they're so slow moving is they essentially can kind of rain themselves out. So you're left with the cloud cover, but the rain kind of moves off further and further to the east. Very similar to if it was a hurricane. Usually the stronger part of the hurricane, more of the moisture is on the eastern side of the storm, and that's just due to its counterclockwise rotation. So we'll deal with the clouds still. There could be a stray shower here in eastern locations throughout the course of the afternoon hours, but we're not looking at a lot in the way of rainfall. And even if you did see a shower, say you were on the golf course, you wouldn't go back to the clubhouse. It would just move through very, very quickly. You'd play through it and you'll be just fine. And then as we go into the evening hours and overnight tonight, we'll finally start to break the clouds apart just a little bit. So highs today will be in the mid-60s across the area. Once we get to tomorrow, we'll make the jump with some sunshine. It's not going to be completely sunny across the area, but we'll thin the clouds a bit. 75 degrees, your high temperature tomorrow. And then going into the holiday weekend, we are looking at temperatures getting back up into the 80s, about 85 degrees actually on Sunday and Monday. There will be the chance of storms. Saturday, I think it's just a stray storm or two, so it's a good day for you. You can get out and about and enjoy that warmth. Sunday, the showers become a little more numerous, but it's really, I think, late Memorial Day itself into Tuesday and then eventually into Wednesday that the storms are going to be the most widespread across the area. But that's the trade-off we'll have to deal with the summer-like pattern, the warmer temperatures, and just the chance of some storms.
Todd, thank you. Throwback Thursday is next. Normally, we'd be getting ready for the big race right about now. And coming up, we'll take you back in time to what some people likely thought was the outrageous cost of taking your entire family to the Speedway. It's 6:51. We'll be right back.
RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Nicole, it is time for a Throwback Thursday. And of course, this week was supposed to be a busy one here in Indy, but race week is going to have to wait a few months due to the ongoing pandemic. But we still want to throw it back to race week from the past and remember just how much it would set back your wallet.
Yeah, think about this. Today, if you took a family of 4 to the Indianapolis 500 this year and bought 4 of the lowest level general admission tickets in advance, that would cost you $200. And some people say that's still a bargain, and that's just for the tickets. So 40 years ago this month, former RTV6 reporter Ron Tank showed us how much it would cost a family of 4 to travel from Kokomo to the Speedway for the race.
Yeah, so it all starts with gas, which was $1.35 a gallon. Amazingly, the prices almost fell to that level here just a few weeks ago. Pretty wild. But then if you parked your family in the Coke lot, it was another $5. General admission tickets were $10 each back in 1980. And of course, your spending doesn't stop there.
Now, if you've ever taken a kid to the racetrack, you know you can't pass a souvenir stand without buying them something. In this case, let's take T-shirts. That's one of the more popular items. 2 children's T-shirts, $3 a piece, $6.
Of course, not all the relatives got to come along, so you'll need a few souvenirs to take home. A couple of race flags, $2. 2 pennants, $3. And at least 1 official program, another $3. Total for the keepsakes, $14. You can't spend a whole day at the track without eating, so let's figure a hot dog each for Mom and the kids and 2 for Dad. Add 4 soft drinks, keeping in mind you can't buy beer at the track on race day, and 4 bags of potato chips. The bill for the food, $8.
All right. Well, did you notice that you could still buy cigarettes at the concession stand back then, but no beer on race day? And when you add that all up, 40 years ago, an outing at the Indy 500 for a family of 4 would cost you $79.
Well, I don't know what inflation would do to that today, but it seems like a pretty good deal. And Todd, if it were race weekend this weekend, all eyes would be on you and your forecast for Sunday, and if things were going to be dry at the track. But unfortunately, it's just a regular holiday weekend like the rest of the country. But what can we expect as people are trying to get outside?
Yeah, you know, at least the pressure will be off here for the race day forecast because there will be storms in the forecast on Sunday. It's going to be a warm day, though, with temperatures up into the 80s. In fact, once we get to Saturday, the warmth arrives and it sticks around for a while. We've only had 2 80-degree days so far this year. We'll string a whole bunch of them together going forward in this forecast. Just have to get through today, which is chilly and cloudy. Tomorrow, a little warmer with a stray shower at 75 degrees. You see those storms for the holiday weekend. Just know they'll be pretty scattered in nature. We're not looking at any all-day rain.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with your news, weather, and traffic updates.
And remember, all of your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 News app. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. Have a great day.